What's up guys, back again with another video, and today guys, we're going to do a retrospective of the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy games. There are 3 games in the collection: Crash Bandicoot, Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back, and Crash Bandicoot Warped. And today guys, we're going to split those games into parts. And the first one we're going to be reviewing is Crash Bandicoot. We'll also be reviewing CTR, Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time, Crash Bandicoot on the One, and Spyro Reignited Trilogy. So get ready, we're doing a big series here. I'm excited for this. Sorry for the hiatus there, but I'm back here and let's start. So Crash Bandicoot's story starts with Crash getting experimented on by Dr. Neo Cortex. He is made to be the general of his army, but then he escapes. But his girlfriend Tana is still there. So Crash makes his big journey back to Dr. Neo Cortex's tower to save his girlfriend and save all the experiments. So the original game's controls were pretty good. We're doing the Insane versions, reviewing those. But the controls in that were pretty good. Controls were basic, especially for later games, which would do more with the controls. But the controls here are pretty basic but pretty useful. Going to here to Crash 4 to back to the original is kind of hard with these weird controls. It's not weird, but it's just so basic compared to Crash 4's controls and even Crash Bandicoot 2's controls. It's like Crash 2's controls is what Crash the original should have been to many people and what it is to me, really. But the controls are fine. They will be expanded on more, but they're good for the original and all that. The level designs, the map in general, level designs and map is pretty good. The map is alright. The level structure is like you see a map where like you're going like Insanely Beach or the first world, and there's the second world, third, then all those worlds. And I like the thing as you slowly go back to Dr. Neo Cortex's tower. It's so immersion breaking, and the characters in the game, there's not that much characters. The bosses are really basic, like really basic, and especially easy. Like I have never seen anyone die over 100 times in one of these bosses. If you died over 100 times in one of these bosses, I'm sorry, but you're not that good at Crash. But I can understand if you die a lot in these levels, because these levels get hard very fast. It goes through like so easy, like the first level, to look hard, and like the second world, it goes so hard in the time trials. I cannot get a platinum relic on the first level. I keep trying, but I can't find any shortcuts, anything to make it faster. I can't find anything. So it's so hard to do the platinum relics. In Crash 4, it's way more easier to get the platinum relics in my opinion, because you're able to do triple spin, you're able to do all these movements to get way faster times. And the platinum relics in Crash Bandicoot 4 are not hard at all actually. I mean, they're hard, they'll take some time. They'll take for me it took 30 minutes just to do one. And I'm not even completing with all the platinum relics. I only did 5 platinum relics and I think 18 gold and sapphire relics. So in Crash 4 I'm close to completion. I barely even went close to 100% completing the original Crash Bandicoot. I didn't get far into 100% completing it at all. I just played through it because it would have been very hard to get through the game and 100% complete it and do the time trials. That is very difficult. And you always are dying. And it feels like you're always missing one box. The one box curse that so much of the Crash players I had sometimes in that. I really felt like restarting the whole level sometimes, but I realized it took me 50 deaths to get here, so I decided not to do it because it would not have been worth it. But do I recommend platinum relicing this game? Like a hobo who lives at home, then it will be okay for you to platinum relic this game. But if you're a regular person like me that has school and all that, do not recommend. do not recommend. As a person who's 100% Crash Bandicoot 4, do not recommend. Your mental state will be tested in blind and relicking in 100% of these games. Like, you will have to play these games when you're a child to be able to 100% it. But the story is really basic. The story isn't that great. But I don't know any Crash game that has a great story except Crash Bandicoot 4. All Crash's stories are pretty basic and at some points pretty bad. Like Crash Boom Bang's story is pretty bad, even though I have never even played that game in my life. This is what I've seen of it. It's pretty bad. But I'm getting off topic. Crash Bandicoot is a pretty good game overall. Some of the controls are pretty good. Crash's design, I used to love it, but when I saw Crash Bandicoot's 4 design and how expressive that could be, I really did not like it anymore. Everyone was complaining about Crash Bandicoot 4's design when the original, the Insane Trilogy one, was actually worse in my opinion. Now just looking back at it, not as expressive as the Crash Bandicoot 4's. I don't know about Coco's design. Coco's design might be better here than Crash Bandicoot 4 in my opinion. Coco's is expressive and that iconic dance looks so good with an HD. The FPS, there's no FPS drops in the game that I experienced. I used a base PS4 to play this, a base PS4, not PS4 Pro. And I experienced no frame drops. I experienced the game at 1080p, 30 FPS. And on the Switch version, it looks pretty good. They didn't include those fur effects that you have on the PS4 edition and the PC edition. The PC edition is optional if you want that, and the Xbox. But I prefer if you get this game, if you can, on PC. On PC, you can get higher FPSs. I am not planning on rebuying this game on PC just for higher FPSs. I hope there's some upgrade with the graphics when it gets on PS5. I hope there's some upgrades on graphics. Please, PlayStation, do that. I want to play this game at 60 FPS in 4K. And I do not want to have to buy a PC just to do that. Like, I do not want to buy a PC just so I can experience 60 FPS gaming. Feels like I've happened to be doing that recently. I've been buying games on PC just for higher FPS. But Crash Bandicoot, the original, is pretty good. The controls are pretty good. You can also use it on the D-pad. If for anyone who played it on the PS1, just for old timers, they can play it on that. But this game is pretty good. I like it. I actually like this more. Controversial opinion, I like this more than Crash Bandicoot Warped. I'll get into that in my Crash Bandicoot Warped review because I really don't really like Crash Bandicoot Warped. It's okay, but I don't really like it. I'm gonna too far into that. I want to get into my thoughts on Crash Bandicoot Warped when I get into Crash Bandicoot Warped. But one problem I have is for anyone who has not played a Crash game and it's their first one, Aku just appears out of nowhere. That's the main problem with this game. He just appears out of nowhere. I don't expect him coming or anyone. Like, he just appears. How did he get to Crash? That's my one story flaw in this game. How did he come? Did he just pick Crash to, protect out of nowhere? And how did Crash's reaction? He was like, okay then. How's this person protecting me? Like it makes no sense how he came. And how did Crash, his sister, meet Crash? Like, how did they disappear from each other? I have so much questions about the story. And, what happens to Tana? Like, why doesn't Tana just leave Crash? Just disappear from him, even though he saved her from a tower. Like, why you have to do that for? I saved you from a tower. Like, why you have to be so rude? But there's some story flaws in this game for sure, some plot holes. But I like most of the stuff in this game. There's some flaws in the games, like the controls and all that. Overall, this is a pretty good game. Going back to this now, it's not that good, but I really like this game. So I recommend this game in all sense, but I'd rather you get the Insane version, because that's the best way to play these games. I heard from the original is way harder. Like, to get all the gem, you had to not die to get the gem. Basically, the insanely perfect relic in Crash Bandicoot 4 is about time. But I'll get to the other stuff in Crash Bandicoot 4, and in Crash Bandicoot 2, and Crash Bandicoot 3, and CTR. I'm just realizing I made a lot of videos about this, and I am going to make more videos about this. But guys, I am so happy that I'm back making new and expansive videos with y'all. Sorry I've been on a hiatus for a little bit, but I am back here, and I will be making this retrospective with y'all. So I'm excited for y'all to watch and me to create some content. These will come out every Friday, so subscribe, like the video, turn on post notifications to put on the notification squad. I'll see you guys in the next one, guys. Bye!